Earlier, I spoke to editor-in-chief of The Hill, Bob Cusack, about Trump's turmoil and a new poll out from USA Today that shows 26% of Republican governors and congresspeople are not supporting their nominee.
On the ground, you need these governors, you need these congressmen in their district pitching the GOP nominee. And clearly, a lot of people are not going to be doing that on the Republican side, but they are doing it on the Democratic side. I don't know of one Democratic governor or Democratic lawmaker who is not supporting Hillary Clinton. So that is a huge challenge for Donald Trump. And he continues to make enemies on the Republican side. And I don't think that's going to stop over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, some of his comments about being unshackled now, not good for a lot of people in Congress. And when you look at some of those down ballot races right now, how do you think this plays out in terms of party control for both the House and the Senate with some of the things that he's been saying and doing?
Well, we've been talking to a lot of Democrats in the Senate. They are very confident that they are going to take back the Senate. They need 4 seats if Hillary Clinton wins, 5 if she does not. And the map doesn't favor Republicans in the Senate because there are a lot of Republicans who are defending their seats. The House is also now a question mark. Democrats would have to win 30 seats. That's an enormous amount of seats, especially with the gerrymandering in politics today. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. But at the same time, Democrats are very confident that they're going to pick up seats in the House. And that's going to make a very difficult time for Paul Ryan, who's going to have a narrow majority probably next year.
It's going to be very different looking. So the one thing that I keep thinking about, we're 4 weeks away now from the election. How do you think this continued rift in the party will shape the party after the election is over? I mean, we have to start thinking about the future.
Yeah, well, remember after Mitt Romney lost, the RNC put out a report called An Autopsy and what we can learn from the 2012 loss. This one, I think, is, if they lose, it's going to be even more damning because you're going to have the Trump supporters. You're going to have Trump, who's not going to go quietly in the night should he lose. And he could be a force just being on the outside and criticizing Paul Ryan, who obviously is thinking about a run in 2020. So this is a real problem, and I think the conservative movement going forward is a fascinating topic because the Republican Party, they do well in midterm elections, but in recent presidential elections, they've been struggling.
The other thing that a lot of people have been talking about is how Donald Trump's been hammering the point that the election could be rigged. A recent poll now shows that about 31% of voters have little or no confidence in correct vote counting. Do you think this plays into Trump's narrative?
I think it's real dangerous. Now, Trump, after the first debate, did say he would accept whatever the outcome of the election is. So he was softening his position a bit. We've talked to some experts at the state and local levels about hacking, and it's very, very difficult to do that, almost impossible. But of course, you have to watch out for that kind of stuff. I do think that after this has been one of the most partisan, nasty elections I've ever seen. That last debate was especially vicious.
Oh my goodness, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was really rough. And you know, the party, the country needs to come together, and it's very difficult to see how Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump will be able to unite everybody on November 8th, November 9th, and going forward.
Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta's email has been subject to a WikiLeaks hack. I want to turn attention to her now. He spoke about it on Tuesday night of the hack. He spoke about it with reporters. Let's go ahead and listen to that before I ask you my next question.
I would say that the Russian interference in this election and their apparent attempt to influence it on behalf of Mr. Trump is, I think, should be of utmost concern to all Americans, whether you're a Democrat, an independent, or a Republican. We would hope that the coverage reflects what really is underlying the constant dribbling out of information from WikiLeaks, Cusack 2.0, and others.
A little hard to hear there because it was on an airplane, but he said that Americans should be concerned about this. Do you think the hack of his email and others within the Democratic Party will have any influence on the outcome of this election, or is it just one of those things?
I certainly think it's had an effect because Hillary Clinton has not been able to shake her email controversy, and it continues with this hacking. We're still talking about emails, different type, but still I think Podesta there is trying to change the topic. And of course, it is of utmost concern that Russia is allegedly hacking into these emails, these Democratic emails, and that's coming from the U.S. intelligence agencies. So it's not just a partisan claim. But at the same time, he doesn't want the attention on what the discussions are. People don't want to have their private emails discussed in public, but now they're out in public, and that can be very embarrassing. And there's going to be more emails coming out. There are court cases about the State Department emails that Hillary Clinton used. So there are more shoes to drop here. Is it big enough to have Hillary Clinton lose this race and blow her double-digit lead? I don't think so, but it remains maybe they're waiting until the last week to drop something really, really big.
Well, because some of these emails, there are things within them that people are now talking about. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see if there's something even bigger in there. Bob Cusack in Washington, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton will get one final chance to face off on the same stage before the election. Their last debate is scheduled for Wednesday, October 19th in Las Vegas. You can watch our primetime coverage, which starts at 7 Eastern, followed by the debate at 9 o'clock.